When it comes to my targeting and just looking back on my life and how I was able to put things together and really see who is who and the true motivations behind why some events took place in my life. Because when you're a target individual, there comes a point where you become aware of these smear campaigns and these setups and the sellouts and how many people really put in effort in coming against your life in this way. And I feel like once you become aware, you start to reflect on the times before you were aware, before it went overt. And once you really reflect, you can put things together. Oh, okay, that's why this happened. And that's why, this event took place. This person was involved. And, you start to put together like people, places, and things. And like I said, this doesn't go for every target individual, but me personally, I felt like I was born into this. I felt like these people have been energy siphoning from me since I was like a child, since I was young. And that's why I say that I think, yeah, of course, it's a government watch list. The government's involved. These agencies are involved. These groups like InfraGard and Citizens on Patrol and things of that nature, those are only, the foot soldiers that they have, the sellouts, the useful idiots. But I feel like that's only one aspect of it. That's the physical aspect of this attack against a target individual's life. And I feel like the motivations behind why everybody's targeted, it's very specific and it's different from person to person. Now, I believe that there are some people, and this is going into the more type of metaphysical, spiritual side of it, but I believe that there are also some people who are targeted because just what their purpose is. The time you're born, the moon phase you're born under, the planetary alignments, what people know as a natal chart. I believe that these people who practice these dark arts and the occult and who use that to try to peer into somebody's life or destiny or what they're destined to become, what the Most High, the Source, has them put here to become in their lives. I think that at birth, they're looking for the remnants, the witnesses. They're looking for those who are true children of the divine source of existence, the Most High God. Just like, the enemy has his children. They're put here to kill, steal, and destroy, create chaos, create division, and basically carry out that agenda. So, excuse me. So I think that, since birth, if you're gifted or, you're always just good at things naturally, or you had a hobby or something, some type of, a lot of TIs are creative individuals. A lot of TIs are very charismatic and, very authentic people who don't put up a front or are not performative people like narcissists and sociopaths and these fake people in society. We're not trying to impress you with material things like most people. We really don't care to fit in with your fake society. We don't care to make a Facebook post or a social media post bragging and trying to one-up other people. So I think that, when you have those authentic characteristics, and this isn't to brag or sound like I'm speaking from a place of ego and pride, but when you're just a real person, when you're just straightforward and authentic, especially if you're good at something, if you have a hobby or something you're good at and you're trying to put it out there, not even because you want to be famous, you're just doing it for a straight passion. I feel like these people try to hijack your life. And that's where we get into something called destiny swapping, which isn't really possible. But the enemy is very stubborn. Like I said, these criminal-minded people are very stubborn. So they try to steal your identity since birth. Things that are meant for you. You know, the abundance and riches that are really stored for the righteous, for you. But what they try to do is they try to hijack your essence. They try to hijack everything you like to do. Let's say, for example, you like making music. They're gonna start trying to make music. You like wearing certain clothes. They're gonna try to dress like you. You talk with a certain lingo, the cadence of your voice, and things like that. They're gonna try to talk like you. They're gonna try to copy your mannerisms. I've noticed that part in my targeting. It's a lot of people trying to embody me and be me and try to steal my purpose and who I am as an individual. That's what I've realized with the, perp family members, perps out there in general. Like, it's a lot of people, a lot of perps who I think they've realized that, they're NPC, they're background characters on the world stage. They really have no other purpose but to be miserable and target other people's lives and secretly, watch them and work for the state and be ass kissers, for the wicked that are in positions of authority, that are currently in positions of authority. So I think that plays a big aspect into it throughout my life. I've noticed it's like people don't want me to be me, and they try to be me. But you're not better at being me than me because it takes no effort for me to be myself. But if you're trying to be somebody else, that's gonna take a lot of effort because you're trying to be someone and something that you're not and you'll never be. So I feel like, all these people with these connections and whatever they're using on TIs to try to, hijack our ignorant energy signature, it's very creepy. It's very weird when you have people who are way older than you too, like 50, about to be 60 years old, 40 years old, like trying to beat you or in a competition with you when they've lived the majority of their lives. Some of my perps are twice my age. And I've noticed this with siblings. I've noticed this with cousins, with associates from the past, people in workplaces. It's like I'll come around and my energy will be too contagious and people will try to compete with me and try to be me better than me. And that's why I say that jealousy and envy aspect is is a key component of why you're being perped or why they're gang stalking. A lot of people, you know what? They don't need a reason to come against your life. They don't need a reason to hate on you and be haters. They don't need a reason. You know what I mean? It's just natural for them. Most people are shit talkers. And if you really hear the day-to-day person's conversation, at least in the area I'm in this town and the perps I've been around, it's never beneficial. It's never nothing progressive. How can we come together? How can we start a business? How can we reach financial stability? Not even just about finance. It's just something positive in general. It's always gossip, divide, talk down on another person, talk shit, or do reprobate things like going to the club every weekend. So I just wanted to say throughout my life, I've noticed with the targeting, it's like they're trying to hijack my energy, who I am as a person, and be me. And that's not your place to decide who I am or who I can be or what I can become. You're not God. That's not your call. But a lot of people try to play God in this program. If you want to call it a program, a lot of people try to play God. And that's why I said a lot of people, especially you people in positions of authority, you law enforcement, you judges, you so-called oath takers, y'all are gonna pay a bigger price compared to the average perp, because y'all had a responsibility and y'all chose to do what y'all do. Y'all chose to steal people's inheritances. Y'all chose to steal people's properties. Y'all chose to let greed and the evil of those secret societies and the things y'all do behind closed doors, y'all chose to let that be your purpose and the evil take over your hearts. So like I said, man, to the TIs out there, y'all keep shining on these people and don't dim your light for none of these fucking cowards, because excuse me for cussing, but don't dim your light for none of these cowards, because at the end of the day, these people are doing all this to you unapologetically, and they don't care if they destroy your life or come against your life. So you gotta not care about how these people feel. You gotta hurt some feelings. You know what I mean? Don't speak with your chest and let these people know who you are, declare who you are. And if they don't like you, well, that's their problem. But I hope y'all take care of yourself on this Saturday, and y'all doing y'all best out here to just make it another day. All praise is due to the Most High, divine source of existence. Y'all take care.